Fans supporting both sides turned up early and didn't mind showing their colours.
Turncoat just in case we lose. You never know, you never know.
44,000 people cheered as first the Argentine side, led by Diego Maradona, entered the arena, followed by the Australians. After the playing of the national anthems, the tension grew as balloons soared above the stadium. Then the kick-off. The 37th minute, Argentina scores the first goal thanks to a move started by Maradona.
Now Ivanovic, and still Maradona. Here comes a dangerous-looking cross, and the goal!
5 minutes later, Australia's turn.
He's looking for the runner, and it's a good run from Vidmar. Tony Vidmar inside!
At half-time, the scores were 1-1. The second half was delayed when the stadium lights went out. When it finally began, it was a tense, sometimes bitter struggle as Australia tried for that vital winning goal. But no change to the score. Australia now travels to Buenos Aires, November 17, to battle for a place in next year's World Cup finals in the United States. I'll be back with all the highlights after the news.
Ahead.
Good evening, I'm Bill Woods and Maradona for a place in the World Cup finals. Game 1 of the qualifying series with the highlights from Sydney Football Stadium, Frank Pangella.
With a TV audience of 500 million tuned in, Australia was thrust into the big time of international football against one of the most pedigreed teams in World Cup history. And one of the greatest players the game has seen. It might have looked like a David versus Goliath contest on paper, but the Socceroos were not intimidated, often outplaying the dual champions and having them in trouble just after 12 minutes.
That's not a bad-looking cross! So close for Australia!
It was the confident start the Aussies needed, with Slater tormenting the Argentines, who then resorted to some physical treatment.
Slater was tripped, and the referee allowed them advantage.
But with 37 minutes gone, a defensive blunder allowed a rare moment of Maradona magic and a deadly finish by Balbo.
Here comes a dangerous-looking cross, and the goal! The goal for Argentina!
But Australia fought back superbly, Tony Vidmar setting up his brother Aurelio for the equaliser just before half-time.
Tony Vidmar inside!
A power failure delayed the start of the second half. But when the lights came back on, Argentina looked recharged.
And McAllister clears it away and Arnold cops it late.
Australia kept taking the game up to Argentina, but the resistance was fierce in the heat of the battle.
Balbo, he goes down under the challenge of Jurakovic.
Argentina eventually clung to a draw, Australia still in with a chance in Buenos Aires on November 17. But coach Eddie Thompson isn't satisfied.
Obviously I'm not happy with the result, but I'm very happy the way the team played. I think we played some super stuff, especially in the first half, and I think we showed everybody here that it's not an impossible task in Buenos Aires. I thought, I mean, we said we played well against Canada, but this opposition was much better, and I thought the team's performance tonight, I thought they played super.
We can do it, but I can't believe we have to go through this absurd qualifying series. We deserve better. Right after the break, a blow for the team's return match in Buenos Aires. Veteran striker David Mitchell has quit after a falling out with coach Eddie Thompson. But another team member still has his head in the clouds after the ultimate compliment from the game's ultimate star.
Striker David Mitchell dropped the bombshell just hours after one of Australian soccer's finest moments.
I plan to retire and I won't be joining up with the team in Buenos Aires. I was bitterly disappointed I wasn't involved a lot longer yesterday, or even from the start, you know, because I think we had to go at the throats and we had to win.
But angry coach Eddie Thompson says the aggressive frontrunner didn't fit in his initial game plan.
If I make a tactical decision, I expect a lot more for David Mitchell to accept it, but you know, even guys like him, I'm disappointed somebody like him especially spat the dummy.
And Thompson's warned there could be even further repercussions for the veteran of 4 World Cup campaigns.
If he thinks he's going to rubbish Australia and rubbish the team and rubbish the next one, certainly it's well within my rights to suspend him playing for Millwall.
Mitchell's abrupt decision sent shockwaves through the rest of the squad. Many spent the day relaxing and contemplating their next confrontation after last night's brilliant performance. While Argentina demonstrated its class, it was Australia which won the accolades around the world. But it was a particularly memorable night for colourful prankster Robbie Slater, singled out by Diego Maradona as man of the match and given one of Maradona's prize number 10 shirts in a private dressing room audience with a megastar.
He gave me a kiss and everything, just on both cheeks, so I gave him a kiss back as well. Shouldn't really be saying that on telly.
The Socceroos
today to travel to South America for the return leg in Buenos Aires. But Australia's first stop is Chile and a date with crack club Colo-Colo later this week.
The 13-man Australian squad and a youth team joined Argentina for the trip to South America, but there was no fraternisation. Missing were the European players and striker David Mitchell. As revealed exclusively in 10 News last night, Mitchell quit after not being selected in the starting lineup. Coach Eddie Thompson won't recommend Mitchell's suspension, but he says Mitchell's absence won't affect team morale.
We've got nothing to fear. I think we've proved other night that we're as good as them. The lads are pretty cocky and we fancy our chances across there.
Faithful fans turned out to farewell the Argentinians, who aren't expecting a rousing homecoming. With Australia winning all the respect, the dual world champions and their coach are now under intense pressure and scrutiny by their own fans and press.
There's enough arrogance in that team that they won't even notice we're on the plane, to tell you the truth. They're probably in first class as well. We're down the back with the luggage.
Even the great Diego Maradona has changed his attitude, but he'll need to improve his fitness dramatically if he's to dominate the game he ruled with arrogant ease for the past decade.
The Aussies, but Colo-Colo converted a penalty chance to win the match. Coach Eddie Thompson wasn't too concerned though. He still lacks 6 starters from last week's match against Argentina. This match did give the Australians a chance to test their strategies.